probably haven't made this clear, but I'm a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. The books, the movies, the games. Well, not all of the games. But as a general rule, I love Lord of the Rings. So it's no surprise that I'm incredibly excited to play the newest addition to Tolkien's universe. Monolith, you know, the guys who brought you fear. Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor.
Mordor wasn't always a realm of darkness, complete with Wa-style orcs.
Just one of you at Narcos, eh? An easy mistake to fix.
And a giant fiery eye that could see Denethor spanking it in the White Tower. No, Mordor once was a beautiful, lush land that had been cleansed of evil in the aftermath of the Battle of the Last Alliance. However, Sauron's power was not completely destroyed. Enter Talion, a ranger and captain of Gondor, stationed to protect the Black Gate from what resides in Mordor. It's clear Monolith wasn't pulling any punches, because in an incredibly brutal fashion, you and your family are both murdered in a blood sacrifice ritual. Now, if that's not enough to set the scene, you are resurrected, or more so, unable to die, and the wraith of an amnesiac dead elf inhabits your body. Now, along your journey, you will meet a type of witch doctor, you'll assist an Uruk in becoming a war chief, and even meet a crazy dwarf. Not to mention, you might just run into a few familiar faces.
Now after seeing all that, and if your initial reaction isn't, "What the f***?" then you're ready for Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor. However, I bet you're asking questions like, well, what's the gameplay like? Why would I want to play as this guy anyway? Very valid questions. Here's why. Did you see that? That was me riding a grog.
Plotline and awesome montage aside, this game is amazing. Graphically speaking, it's probably one of the most beautiful games I have ever seen in my entire life. And the soundtrack is amazing, with top-notch voice acting from the actors.
Did you talk to my father?
Yes, I did. And nothing has changed. He's still very stubborn.
In terms of describing the gameplay, the best comparison I could possibly think is take Arkham City and Assassin's Creed mixed with orcs, and you've got Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor. This is probably one of the best, most fluid combat systems I have ever experienced in a hack and slash or beat 'em up game. It's fluid, quick, accessible, easy to learn, yet challenging as hell, especially when facing Uruk war chiefs. Ranged, stealth, and open combat all blend seamlessly to make you feel like a one-man orc killing machine. Hit streaks, special moves, executions, counters, headshots, stealth kills, branding, draining, shanking, pinning, tackling. Hell, even your mount is built to ruin an orc's day. How does a ranger dish out this much punishment, you ask? Simple, by gaining experience, either through weakening Sauron's armies by killing captains and war chiefs, or by thwarting political actions such as feasts, ambushes, hunts, and so on. Alternatively, you can do it the good old-fashioned way, just by killing orcs and completing quests. Now, all of the stuff that I've talked about so far in this video arguably has been seen in video games before. However, there's one thing that Shadows of Mordor has that no other game does, and that's the nemesis system.
Why is he?
Thanks for asking, Shaka. The nemesis system procedurally generates orcs who essentially live in the game. Well, not that they live very long, mind you. More specifically, if a captain beats you, he levels up. If he completes a political action, his power increases, and slowly his list of weaknesses gets populated with strengths, such as invulnerability to ranged or stealth damage. If an Uruk captain is tough enough, he can even take his boss's place, decking him out in better equipment and making him even more powerful. A high-level war chief is a true challenge for Talion, and you'll find yourself losing to them quite frequently if you come ill-prepared. Some you'll fight so often, they'll truly become your nemesis.
Who you wish I was?
Hence, nemesis system. Commissar, there has to be something wrong with Shadow of Mordor. Well, the game is definitely too short. Well, the story anyway. There's hours of side content and even challenges to do. But the story itself feels very short, which kind of bums me out. Some argue the gameplay is tedious. Well, yeah, the gameplay can be tedious, to some, for sure. But you also have to remember, the Commissar has played 8 iterations of Dynasty Warriors, and I'm not tired yet. The main character is not overly compelling. That's true, while his story is most definitely tragic, and the opening scene is probably one of the most powerful cinematics I've seen in a while, Talion is far less interesting of a character than his elven wraith companion. I just feel like they could have done more with him. My final complaint is stealth sometimes can feel clunky. It's definitely not as polished as some games as, I don't know, Splinter Cell Blacklist or even Assassin's Creed. Even with what could be considered these problems, they do not drag this game down, and instead, it's still frickin' awesome.
Better sharpen the swords, eh? And make sure our boots are nice and shiny.
So there you have it. Middle-earth Shadows of Mordor is an amazing game. And now I'm having the burning urge to either go watch Lord of the Rings or kill some orcs. I think I know what I'm gonna do.